So you're signed to Drumwork. You said this is the first time you got signed?
Yeah.
What do you think changed? What changed in you? What changed in
since being signed?
No, that pushed you, like you had been doing it for so long. What do you think finally changed that
like happened? What clicked that made it work?
Yeah.
I could honestly say that I got serious about it, because after a while it was like I was doing it for so long and I was like, this is just something I do, like, so I stopped, like, I know it comes off like I was, but I mean, within myself, like I was just rapping, but then I got serious about it. And then
how do you take yourself seriously?
But so this is also what it was. I had mad conversations with Benny, and he was like, no, shit is about to be really happening. So it stopped. That's why I took myself more serious. And I'll answer your question, but it was like, this stopped being something that I was just doing because I knew how to do it. Now I'm back to having like, now it's real again. You know what I mean? Now I'm back to the feeling of when I used to, like, when I was younger, I rapped I was doing shit with a sense of like I was going somewhere. Then after a while and being in Buffalo, and it was like no outlets, I started like, I'm just doing this now. Now I'm going to do other shit. But having those conversations with Benny made me feel like, okay, now it's real again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I took myself more serious in just being consistent, really. And that's really it. Just consistency.
Were you at those points when you weren't before you did that? Did you think you were taking yourself seriously, or did you know you were bullshitting?
Yeah, I know I was bullshitting. Because I was just trying to stay present. It was more of that. I was trying to stay like y'all could still see our rap. It wasn't like I was.
What made you take that trip to New York with Skis?
Skis?
Yeah.
That's what made me take it. Because okay. Because I'll tell you, for me, I had just lost my debit card. Like a couple days before we got the text to come out there. I just lost my debit card and I was waiting for a new one. So when we got the address or the text to come out to New York, I was like, Skis, I can't go. Like, I don't have money. Like, I got money, but I don't. And
Con had invited you guys to go out there, just for people listening.
Oh, right.
Because I was just like, I was like, wait.
Yeah. So, and Skis was like, love, I promise you, if you don't go, I'm talking about you for the rest of your life. And I was like, okay. So that's really what it was. But I started taking myself seriously before that already. Mm-hmm. Like, so I had already began taking myself serious again when I made Love Is Love, which is what you were talking about with McCarthy Park. So the stuff with Conway, that was probably like 2 years after that. So I had already been taking myself serious for like 2 years.
So the talks with Benny were those 2 years beforehand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he believed in you to have those talks about taking yourself seriously because it's about to be the next step.
Yeah. Benny, he definitely, I've had so many conversations with Benny. Like, I've known them since I was like 14, 13, like, because I've been rapping. And
did you meet them in Buffalo or Atlanta?
In Buffalo. One of my business partners, Stove, him and DJ Shay went to high school together, and him and my Stove and my mom grew up together. So when I started working with Stove, the first real studio he took me to was DJ Shay's studio, and Benny was already there, and I was like 12 or 13.
Wow.
So, like, I'm saying that to say, like, Benny saw me, and like, he knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know with him at that time?
Yeah. What? Benny is like, yes, like, Benny is a person. That's when I'm saying, like, I just wanted to stay present when I wasn't really taking myself serious, but it was like, y'all know I know how to rap, so let me just show y'all I'm still out here rapping. Mm-hmm. That was really, for me, it was really because Benny's so consistent. Like, Benny's been consistent as an artist since I was like, for as long as I could really remember, like since I was probably like 15, like, you know what I'm saying? So, and then talking to Benny, just seeing him, and like, even just seeing him or whatever, he'll be like, what you got going on? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't want to say I just work at Office Depot, like, or some weird shit.
No, 100%.
So I'm just go like, I mean, I do probably forget I didn't, but like, but also I got this song, so like, you know,
But
like
what
that.
other than Buffalo not having an outlet, because you're saying Benny stayed consistent throughout that time, like what made you kind of lose your passion to then come back into it? And do you mind handing me that water? Thanks.
So I never lost my passion. That was the thing. I kept my passion. It wasn't working out for me. And whereas, I mean, I can't really speak on Benny's life and business, but I didn't really do street stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to have a job. Like, I never wanted that. So I was just like, I have to do something else. You know, it was more of that, but the passion was still always there.
Yeah. And that's crazy that you kept it, because some people do lose it. Or do you think people really lose their passion?
No, I don't think people lose their passion. I think that life gets the best of people, because like it almost happened to me. Like, you know, just like if I wasn't cool with Benny, well, not, I can't even say that, because just being from Buffalo and I see Benny and them, I would have got back serious in general. But if I wasn't like, if I didn't see an outlet, I would have just, like, I started coding and doing tech shit, which I love. I love that.
Oh, really?
But I would have just done that. Like, that's just what I would have been doing. And I would have been this same creative talent.
Do you think there would be a voice in the back of your head?
I still, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think you lose your passion. I think life just, you gotta live.
To those times when you're on stage, it doesn't matter where, but in Europe, does that feel like, is that believable to the old you?
Yeah, that's just crazy. That's really what I always think about. Like, damn, I even talk about it sometimes when we were just in Toronto, and I was just saying, because the last time I performed in Toronto, I was like 15. I got booed as fuck.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I got booed.
What happened?
I don't
That's
remember.
So horrible. That's so horrible. To boo a 15-year-old
as fuck in Toronto.
Yo, I would have been throwing hands at that audience.
Hell no, I think I cried. Like,
yeah, that's horrible.
But at the show the other day, it was just, I said it like, damn, this is the last time I was here, I got booed. Like,
that's crazy.
But so yeah, like, to my younger self, it's like, damn, like, you know, you're on the right path.
And you were pushing, you were doing shows in Toronto at 15.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When I'm saying that I was rapping, I'm not saying that I was just going to the studio. Like, I was trying to get a deal, going to labels, getting turned down, going to open mics, traveling, going to different cities, going to conventions, going to A3C, going to, like, I was doing all of the stuff, but it was just like, you know, it was always like a kind of a feeling of like, where is the hype, kind of, you know what I'm saying? It was no real buzz for the place.
What was the first?
And it was like before the internet, like, you know.
What was the first time you felt hype? Like, what was the first time that you were like, oh, it's actually starting to come to fruition?
Just in my life, I would say like during MySpace times, I had a song. I actually don't remember which song.
Did you go by Love the Genius?
On MySpace, I was Platinum. My name was Platinum. I changed my name to Love the Genius, or I changed my name to Love when I was like 17. The Genius part came recently, but I had a song on MySpace that, like, you know how on MySpace, did you have MySpace?
No.
Damn.
How old do you think I am?
Like, first of all, this is going to make me think about how old is MySpace, but I think that you're like 24.
That's perfect.
Are you 24?
I'm 24. Most people guess.
How old is MySpace?
Did you have a MySpace? Oh, I didn't get Facebook till late. I was a loser.
Okay.
No one wanted to be my friend anyway.
Okay. So MySpace existed.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So on MySpace.
He had a MySpace, so at least that.
Right. I was in, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I was in high school.
People always think
I was in, I don't fucking know. But also, okay, the point is I had a song on MySpace and a lot of people were putting it on their pages, because on MySpace you could like
have an anthem. Yeah.
Yeah, like you could do something and then that song is on your page. And I had a song that had a lot of it was on a lot of people's pages. So at that point I was like, oh, okay, this is lit. Like it's working out. Or at least I thought it was going somewhere, or I felt like I could do it.
How about on this, like this, what you're on now?
Okay, so now I just I never really had a feeling of like this is it. Like I felt like that just when Benny was talking to me just those years ago.
Yeah.
So, but it wasn't like a thing with that I accomplished or anything. It was just like a because like I said, I have my own passion and drive, and like I hype myself up. Like I'm real gassed by myself about myself.
You should be.
So, like, I don't
that's the whole
really,
point. You have to think you're the best.
So there's not really a thing where it's like people made me feel like something was happening. It was kind of like just them talking to me.
No, but you can do something yourself that proves to yourself, oh, I'm doing something.
I just started being consistent. That's really what it was for me, because for me, my consistency showed my passion, or like I was recommitted to my dream.
Consistency is the number one thing.
Yeah.
Quality is important. 100%. You have to have something. But when people like ask me, it's I don't miss a week. I don't stop. You can't stop. Like you think anyone in any other profession stops?
Right.
Like takes, they don't. You have to just be consistent.
Right. Literally, even if you don't know what you're doing. And that's
because that's how you learn.
That's what I'm saying that made me feel like that, because in other years it would be like, well, this is not doing anything anyway. So like, you know what I mean? Just even if something wasn't working out for me at that moment, just me staying consistent made me feel like, okay, I'm doing it.
And having that blind faith.
Yeah.
Because I had one of my worst months after one of my best months. And I knew people who stopped after that. But it's like, you just have to keep, it doesn't matter because you're doing it for yourself.
Right.
You're not doing it for anyone else.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. Like I gas myself. Like I don't really, because also you can't, for me, what I'm saying about like, I love vulnerability is kind of like, you can't give or take from me because I already, I've accepted myself.
I love that sentiment, and it's true, because it doesn't matter what anyone says. It doesn't matter positive or negative,
like
kind of what people exactly like. And it's funny, I've had some talks with Benny and Con that they said some things, and it's like, it's cool when other people see what you see in yourself. That's the thing. Yeah. When you're like, oh, you get what I'm trying, like you get what I'm trying to go for. Right. And that's the beautiful thing.
Exactly.
Did you know Con through all that?
Yeah, I've known Conway. Like I said, since I was working at Shea Studio, like they were always there. Yeah. Like I don't know when they started working with Shea, but when I started working at Shea Studio, because I never was signed to him or anything, I would just record there. They were always there. So yeah. Because
you were saying the Benny talks, but you have you're signed to Drumwork. You got the Drumwork. So
me and Conway didn't talk as much, but we know each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's an interesting point, because we talk the same, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it's the same type of relationship, but we talk like you talk as often, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting.
That was when he invited you guys to the studio. That was kind of like the Drumwork when you.
No, well, that was like
when did you become Drumwork?
I think that's when he decided that we were going to do it. But for me, in like 2000 and maybe like 2019, Conway would be hitting me up or seeing me out and then be like, we gonna do Drumwork. So he already had the Drumwork concept, but he didn't really have
I had no idea about that.
So that's what I'm saying. But I think Skis and I made him like, okay, I'm doing it now at that studio, but he already had the Drumwork thing, and he already was telling me, like, you know what I mean? But we weren't having real conversations. And then we did have a real conversation at his crib, and he was like, yeah, I want you and Skis. Let me tell you this story, because people don't know. Conway was like, yeah, I want you and Skis, but I don't really, like, I hit Skis up, but I don't really got a relationship type shit or whatever. So I was like, I know Skis, because like, and Skis was having an event it was a fire ass event too in Buffalo, and I just I just went to the event to support it, but I also was like, listen, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but Conway want to work with you. And I've been recording at his crib. This is before we went to this, because we went to that New York trip because we'd already been recording at his house.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't like a y'all signed or I want to, it was just like, let's see how y'all work type shit.
Yeah, because Skis was saying it was almost like a test.
Right.
Like if you can come to New York and make it,
then you want it.
Then you want it.
Right. Because other than that, we were just hitting him up a lot, trying to get in the studio, come to his crib, let him hear our shit.
And I love what he did. I'm so happy that it's you and Ski. Like the drum work is what it is, because it's not what people would expect it to be. It's so much better than that.
That's
like
fire.
You know because I think people be like, oh, is he gonna sign people like him? But no, he signed dope artists that bring their own thing and also highlight a different part of Buffalo. Like
that's a fact. And I personally am really happy that it's Skis and Conway and like people that I know. You know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't imagine going through this shit, just not this shit, like, but just this music industry shit, and just like having to, even how we were talking about traveling and shit, just with strangers or people who I don't really,
who
like
just have your money in mind.
Yeah, like they just have your brand and your what you could do for them in mind. So like I think it's dope. And then for me, it's like these guys always been talented, but it's more dope to me that I know them.